Hey everyone, hope you're all doing well. My name is D'Angelo Murillo from the Geek Life, and we are here at Anime Expo 2022, and I'm here with a wonderful cosplayer by the name of KayeCosplay. How are you doing today?
Hi, I'm doing well. Thanks for having me.
Good. So you are actually one of the cosplay senpais here for Anime Expo 2022. How's it been so far?
Yes, it's been really rewarding. Just having the opportunity to meet with people after not having Anime Expo for the last 2 years from the pandemic. So it's been great to be back and to meet everyone and share the love of anime.
Oh, awesome. So, to be considered like a cosplay senpai, you've had to like put in a lot of hard work, time, energy, effort, and all that kind of stuff, and it clearly shows in all the work that you've done. You know, so it's amazing. But I'm curious about your origin story. How did you get into cosplay? Was it something that you kind of knew that you wanted to get into, or was it something you actually stumbled upon?
It's something I stumbled upon. I started cosplay in 2004. I was 11 years old.
Wow.
Yes. So my origin story is I was reading an anime magazine, I believe it was Anime Insider, and at the back of the magazine it had a list of upcoming conventions. I said, oh, what is that? I found one that was coming to my hometown, and I begged my mom to take me, and that was my first experience going to a convention. And that was my first time seeing cosplayers, and I said, I want to do that. So the following year, that's when I made my very first costume. It was Sango from Inuyasha. It's my favorite character.
Nice.
Yeah, it's a classic. But it's been that long since I started cosplay, and it's something I just came across and decided to try myself. And I've been doing it, 18 years later.
That's incredible. Oh my gosh. So, over the course of your career, you've had a lot of victories, as clearly shown by you being here today as a cosplay senpai and everything. But I know that journey could not have been easy, and so I wanted to know, like, out of all the things you've experienced in your career and all that kind of stuff, a lot of times people could call them like L's or losses, or like, but a friend of mine calls it lessons. Like, so in your experience, what were some of the situations, or one situation that stands out the most for you? Of an L that like you thought, like maybe it's a situation where you thought that you had you brought your A game, but still it like something went wrong, or like maybe you got a little too like overconfident and you're like, all right, next time I need not be, not underestimate a situation. What is one L for you in your career that made you grow, that you kind of reflect on?
Well, I'm a plus size cosplayer, and that's not extremely common, especially the type of cosplay that I do. You don't see a lot of body representation in cosplay. And that's something that I struggle with every single day, is being taken seriously for the amount of work and my quality of work. And I'm judged based on just by the way my body is, and not by the craftsmanship of my costumes. So, for example, there's a costume I did, it was an Ursula from The Little Mermaid, and it was this really beautiful, like, couture version of her. And I remember getting positive comments, very like reinforcing that I did a good job, but then of course you had the negative as well. So some of those negative comments were about my body, but it was polarizing, because some people were saying I was shaped too large to be Ursula. Some were saying I was too small to be Ursula. So So my biggest takeaway was just, you're never going to please other people. You're never going to make everybody happy, but you have to make yourself happy first. So if you do this, if you decide to cosplay, or if anything that you do, you put your whole soul into, and as long as you do it for your own enjoyment, that's all that matters.
That's beautiful. That's wonderful. And then in the same sort of vein, a lot of times as creatives, we can like burn the candle at both ends, essentially. And then burnout is like inevitable and something that threatens every creative, that just shuts them down, that puts them in a bad mental health space and all that kind of stuff. And over the years of being a creator and an artist, you no doubt have experienced your fair share of burnout, we can assume. So when it comes to the topic of burnout and mental health, what do you do, or what techniques do you implement to make sure that your mental health is taken care of?
Yeah, I'm glad you're asking about that, because it is something that I struggle with every single time I make a costume. And I think it's been more prevalent lately, and I've been listening to my body more and my emotions more, and I tend to see the signs of burnout sooner than what I used to. And it is something that I think we all struggle with, putting a little too much on our plate, or maybe not allowing enough time for ourselves and having too strict of a schedule. So thankfully I have my husband who's my biggest supporter. So if there are times when I'm feeling very overwhelmed or burnt out, he can be the person to say, no, you need to take a break. Let's go have a nap, you know. But he's always there to help me out, and if I'm struggling or anything, I reach out to my friends as well, and they are there to help boost me up, but are also there to tell me that I don't need to be so hard on myself.
That's good.
And then if I don't meet a deadline, it's just cosplay. It's not the end of the world.
It won't break you.
Exactly.
That's wonderful. That's good to have like a strong support system.
I think that's really important.
That's amazing. So pivoting on the other end of the spectrum, talking about your fair share of like victories and W's, you've accumulated a lot over your career. So what would be one of the victories that shines the most for you? Whether it's something like an award you won or something that you got a really big accomplishment for, or a smaller moment when you first were starting out that meant nothing to everyone else but meant the world to you.
Right. That's a good question too. I have done a lot of competitive cosplaying. So even when I was younger, in middle school, I still entered competitions.
Oh, wow.
My very first Judges Award was really, really important to me. And that was, I think, in 2007 or something. I was still a child. But that just kind of pivoted me to want to do this even more. A few years ago, I entered into the International Cosplay League, the ICL, and I was chosen as the American representative for that, for solo cosplay. Thank you. I was able to travel to Spain and compete in an international competition, and I was placed second in the world, which was really cool. So I'd like to say that's my highest, that's my peak.
You gotta get that
cosplay.
engraved in like a wrestling belt and then like
I
wear
know,
it over your
right?
shoulder.
Yes, exactly.
Good.
So I hope to get back into competitive cosplay, but for right now I've been focusing more on my branding and getting to go to conventions and meet people, do a lot of judging and guest experience. So
that's
a little bit of everything.
That's amazing. So so when it comes to like, we're gonna ask a little bit of simpler questions, you know, off the heavy stuff. So when it comes to the topic of anime, well, it's a classic question. For you, do you prefer subbed anime or dubbed anime?
I prefer dubbed. Because I like to watch things when I'm working.
Makes sense.
And it's easier for me if I don't have to read and look at the TV if I have to look away. I tend to watch things twice. Like if I watch it again, I watch it dubbed first and then I'll go back and watch it subbed. But I'm more of a dubbed person.
Right on.
Yeah.
Makes sense. And then what would you say, which I might already know the answer to that question, but like what would you say is your favorite anime?
That's a really hard question. I think my answer changes a lot. My very first anime was probably Sailor Moon, without me even knowing that it was an anime. Seeing it as a kid, I just thought it was pretty and I liked watching it. So Sailor Moon holds a really special place in my heart, clearly. But I also grew up with Inuyasha. That's one of my animes that's really close to my heart. I also like Detective Conan, Case Closed. I like things like that too. So I have a wide range of favorites.
That's incredible. And then who would you say is your top tier husbando or waifu out of all the anime characters? Like which one, if they could come to the real life?
Oh gosh, that is a really hard question. I guess back on like Inuyasha, Koga was like my crush growing up, so I have a soft place for Koga.
Perfect. That works. You know, it's fine. And then what anime would you say is overrated? That and it's okay to start fights. It's okay to like.
I don't know if we're ready for put me on the spot like that. I don't know, honestly. I feel like there's so many good animes and everybody loves them all for different reasons. And if it means something special to you, like who am I to say that it's overrated? I find it difficult to get into series that have lots and lots and lots of episodes.
Shonen.
Yes. So it's difficult for me to enjoy those type of anime. I don't want to call out any
giant statues that are geared to this year.
Maybe those, but that's just like not my style. You know, I enjoy other types of genre. So.
That's incredible. And then, so if you could go back in time and sit down like at a table with your younger self, what is one piece of advice that you would impart onto them to hopefully make their journey a little bit easier?
Maybe just to care less about what other people think of you. I think I became a stronger cosplayer when I started really doing it for myself and not for other people. I remember choosing costumes based on popularity.
Trends, yeah.
The trends, exactly, or is anybody going to know who I am? And I'm only going to cosplay these people because they will recognize me at conventions and then they'll take my picture. It's not so much about that for me anymore. Now it's just about really going back and looking at the characters that I resonate with and the outfits that I'd like to create. Because if I'm going to spend a lot of time making something, I want it to be something that I enjoy.
And love, yeah.
Exactly. So I would just give myself that advice to just not worry about what other people think and really focus on myself.
Yeah, focus on the North Star.
Exactly.
That's good. And then where can we find you online?
I am at KayeCosplay. It's K-A-Y-E cosplay. My primary is Instagram. I'm also on Facebook and YouTube, and I have a Twitter, but I don't use it that much.
Yeah. Right on. Well, thank you again so much for taking the time to answer a few of our questions.
Thank you so much.
And we hope you have a wonderful weekend.
Thank you. It's nice chatting with you.
Yeah. Thank you guys again for checking out this interview. We have more coming down the line. Make sure to stay tuned, and we'll see you guys later.